Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very kind of different experience that we're going to have here on the Flatout Racing Network and for these vintage series drivers. This is truck racing at Bristol Dirt. Now, you might be wondering, don't we normally run some vintage cars, some 87 series cars on Tuesday nights in the G-Force League? Well, we do. These guys decided to switch it up a little bit tonight. We're going some dirt track racing with some very modern machinery around the very freshly adopted Bristol Dirt here in Bristol, Tennessee for these drivers. My name is Anthony McCurry. Alongside of me is Matthew Rodriguez. Matt, we're
Howdy.
getting ready for some dirt racing.
Yes, sir. I remember last time Bristol had dirt on it. I think it was 2002, and I think I was roughly 3 feet tall. So obviously seeing dirt back on Bristol is a very exciting thing. I have not been able to race on it personally ever since the update came out. I have heard a lot of rave reviews about it, so I'm kind of excited to see it tonight.
It's going to be fun times for all drivers tonight. I know a lot of these drivers are looking forward to racing here at Bristol Dirt, getting to see what they can do around this very technical half-mile circuit, the world's fastest half-mile. The way the races are going to work tonight, we have 2 heats and then a main event. Everyone advances. 3 fast repairs, unlimited tires. You can throw the book at it and get any result you can. Green flags in the air. 15 laps these heats are. We're underway, and Michael Blanton gets a good start. Trying around on the outside of the racetrack. Doing really well on the outside of the racetrack as well. Throwing the truck into the turns. Sliding around, getting these trucks wound up. Now, these drivers are used to going sideways in the 87 cars. Not so much with these guys. These trucks on dirt, a lot of these drivers have dirt track experience, but this is something new for them. A really high-banked dirt oval, and this is kind of going to be a little feeler for these drivers to see if they ever come back to this kind of a track.
Well, you got to think, these 87 cars will visit dirt tracks later in the season.
They will. We got one guy up in the wall experiencing what dirt track is all about, and that's Christopher Morris in the 3 machine. Went up the racetrack, but now is finding himself in a battle with him and Cooper Johnson on the inside of the racetrack. Now, most of these trucks are driving what they normally would. Their numbers are about the same, but you'll see we have a plethora of different paint schemes for these drivers. Oh, Johnson almost sending it around, but he did save it. Now, this is a great battle side by side for what is the 5th position. Whoa, right in front of him, Jake Hounshell in the 0-2 has a bit of an issue, and Morris is back up in the wall. These guys are sliding around this racetrack.
And that's the big thing about Bristol Dirt. There's so many different lines that you can possibly take around this track. You can either try and arc it down low, take a shorter route, possibly you get a worse exit, or take the high line, try to ride the rim.
Indeed so. We've seen a lot of drivers do a plethora of different angles, and Cooper Johnson went straight up the track. He tried a very interesting line that way around, tried to diamond it. Oh, gets up into the wall, hard into the outside wall for the 14. These drivers really trying to figure out where the grip is, but so far it's kind of caught a few of these drivers off guard. The leader, though, Michael Blanton, has checked out from second place. He's got about a 2.5-second gap back to second place. Gerald Campbell in the 6 machine now trying to run him down. There are 8 drivers that did take the start of this race. James Goshen did not take the start of Heat 1, so he will finish last place in this heat, but he will take place in the main event. Every driver advances no matter what position they finish in. Jake Hounshell running in 3rd place in this race in heat number 1 and doing a pretty good job holding off James Roth, but Roth on the inside line trying to catch back up to the 0-2, right along the back end of the 0-2. Look at the way that Roth sends it in, chasing down Hounshell as Hounshell really working that wheel. He almost gets us sideways, and that allows Roth to take 3rd place. Man, oh, hard into the back end does Hounshell go into Roth, and that's going to open the door for Morris as he comes through to take 4th place. These drivers are racing their hearts out. They don't have any restrictions. There's no points on the line. This is all-out war for these drivers, and you can tell these are a lot of wrecked race trucks so far this race. As the back end of the 3 looks like it's been through a war, and it's still just over halfway. We're coming down to 6 laps to go for the leader. These races go by quick, and barring something happening to Michael Blanton, I'm not sure that anyone really has anything for him, but it looks like that these drivers back here are having one whale of a battle for 3rd place, and that's something that Bristol Dirt really does produce, is close battles, and we're seeing a lot of them as Morse uses the back end on Roth and sends him around.
And another thing we didn't touch on was this is really a race for these guys who, hey, first 4 races, kind of get your anger out, kind of let other people around you know how you feel.
Indeed so, and I think that we just saw a little taste of what could happen later on as Morse got into Roth and got them pinned down. Now, Morse did wait for Roth, so good sportsmanship on the part of the 3 machine, but now you see the leader Blanton trying to pass these two, put him a lap down in the 24, trying to get around. He's going to complete lap 11 now. I believe that we've got 5 laps to go in this race, make that 4 laps to go, as now we are on lap 12 of 15 in the first heat. Blanton, he's looking like he could have something for these guys when we get to the main event, because no one's been able to keep up with him. Campbell certainly not, because he's fallen back down to 4 seconds. The gap back to second place is behind. These two are still battling between Roth and Morse. Up towards the front, Houndshell's running in a world all by himself in 3rd place. Cooper Johnson and Randy Koking are kind of in worlds of their own. Jason Houndshell trying to catch up to Koking, in fact, in the 19, but they're running out of laps to do so. Everyone got stretched out after that first incident. The closest battle on the racetrack is between Morse and Roth at the moment, as these two continue to battle the leader. It's on 2 laps to go. So the white flag in the air for our, or not the white flag yet, but white flag getting close to being in the air for our leader, and he is on a charge at the moment. Going on the inside line, coming out of turn 4. White flag in the air now for Michael Blanton. Takes it in stride. Sends it into turn 1. Sideways is that 24 machine. And he couldn't have run a more perfect race for this first heat. Coming out of turn, or going into turn 3 rather. Flashing the 24 logo around. Turning right to go left. Out of turn 4. Michael Blanton is going to win heat 1 tonight at Bristol Dirt for the Vintage Series. Man, that was a dominating performance. I don't think you could have done that any better if you were Michael Blanton. Got out front. He had accumulated a 5.5-second lead, but when all was said and done, Jarrell Campbell really had nothing to really take to the 24 machine. And if you're Michael Blanton, I think that you're really in a good place when we go to the main event.
I mean, look, a lot of these guys, they're trying to get a little bit of a feel for their competition, how it's going to be later in the season in the 87 cars. So, I mean, this really gives us a first look of, hey, who may have an advantage on the dirt.
Indeed so. And we're seeing a lot of these drivers that I didn't think was really going to show their dirt track ability until we actually got to this race, because a lot of these drivers do have that dirt track experience that we are so famously see in the Vintage Series specifically, is you have to control those cars on asphalt. So having to control them here on dirt, you really get to see who's the best of the rest. And right now, Michael Blanton is definitely did show off his dirt racing abilities as a 5.5-second lead to win Heat 1, but we're getting set for Heat number 2. Everyone's lined up on the grid now. We're waiting for Bo Caro at the moment. He's still loading in. Blaine Atkin will start pole for this heat. John Whitendorf will start alongside of him. Now, these two had a storied battle at a few of these tracks that we've seen in the Vintage Series. Last week at Atlanta, these two battled quite a bit on the racetrack. So, and Blaine Atkin has got a win so far in that league. So, coming into this race, all the ambitions are off. You let it all hang out, maybe settle some scores, because we had a lot of beating and banging going on at Rockingham a few weeks back. So you think that these drivers still have some aggression that they need to get out?
I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm in a situation where I could possibly take the lead in turn 1, I mean, heck, turn or left sender.
I'm sure these drivers are going to do just that. We've seen so far in Heat 1, no one was really afraid to use the bumpers. We saw that the 3 definitely did quite a bit of that, but that 44 machine lining up on the inside line, getting set to take everyone to green. We're waiting for the pace truck to peel off and get these drivers underway. Another 15-lap heat for these drivers, and if you're some of these drivers going to the whole getting out your aggressions, we've got a few drivers that might want to get out some in this field particularly. We've got Steinmiller, who had a battle with Atkin. We've had Whitendorf that's had a battle with Atkin. So Atkin, target number 1 for 2 of these drivers in the field.
Hey, double team them.
Yeah, and they're starting right behind him, but the pace truck peels off. We're getting ready to see what he can do as they're stacking up behind him. The 63 of Steinmiller almost shoving Atkin into the first turn, but it doesn't really force the issue right now, but he is going to the inside. He's going to the inside quick. Here comes the 63 to the lead. He's going to take the lead.
Brakes don't work too good on on dirt tracks.
No, they don't. And Atkin was trying to use all the accelerator he could, but couldn't quite get it done. Bo Cairo didn't make the start. We're going to make a note of that. But, whoa, look how sideways the 63 is. And here comes the 44 to cut him off through turn 3. I believe that's turn 2, rather. And we've seen off-road racing and trucks on this on the Flatout Racing Network before, and we've seen it have battles quite like this, except they were pro trucks that we've seen, and they have to go over a plethora of different obstacles that they need to get through. Now, Bristol Dirt's one of those tracks that it's kind of straightforward until you really start.
Oh, wreck on the front straightaway.
There is. Peyton Hamlet's around, and that's a big crash. Seth Harrelson also involved on the front straightaway. It looks like that Hamlet has come down pit road, and so too has Seth Harrelson.
Battle for second with Whitendorf.
We will attempt to go back and look at it at some point, but this battle right now, you couldn't put a piece of paper between these two drivers, 63 and 33. They're that close.
Oh, man, you just see Steinmiller just turning right on the front straightaway, just trying to keep it going in the right direction.
He is really wheeling that car. You can see him mark it out to the outside of the racetrack and point it straight, going down the front straightaway. That is what you got to do at a road or at a dirt track with this amount of banking. They're driving it like a really slippery road course right now.
I don't know about you, Anthony. I think we need to bring back Lime Rock Dirt.
Oh, that would be something special. I'd love to see these drivers try to take the hill in the dirt. Whoa, that was a big outside hit for Whitendorf, but keeps it going somehow. Although Steinmiller is kind of looking to try and maybe get to the inside. Oh, does he use the door? Oh, he does, and they save it.
Not enough.
Whoa, that could have been bad for these two. Shane Lake is waiting in the wakes, though. You can see that the wheels are turning. He really wants to get this position, and if these two crash, he's got a one-way ticket to second place. Blaine Atkin is checked out away from these two, but this is the best battle on the racetrack at the moment. Whitendorf and Steinmiller as the battle continues to rage, although Steinmiller falling back.
Betsy, just looking at Steinmiller. He's trying everything he can. Right now, it looks like Whitendorf probably took that little bit lower line that he took from Hank and just gotten a little bit used to it. And, Whitendorf kind of parked in the middle of the corner, opened the door back up to Hank.
Yeah, Hank is really trying to wheel it out. Now, Whitendorf's doing a good job of defense. He knows he did another one. This time it's in the middle of the turn. And that really got Hank upset. He literally, Whitendorf parked the bus in the middle of the turn. Nowhere for the 63 to go. Now he's got a lot of ground to make up, and he's got some lap trucks to deal with up ahead. I believe, though, that Blaine Atkin's kind of slowing down, although I believe that might be that's Jackson McLaren that they're going to have to encounter very soon. But, man, wouldn't you believe that these drivers, they are, I mean, this is an exhibition race, and you can definitely tell that there are no chains on these drivers. They're letting it all hang out.
Like I said, I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to finish, third in a in a race that's not even being counted for points, I mean, hey, no harm trying to wreck for going for second.
No harm, no foul for these drivers. It's all good fun. These guys, they race very seriously in their respective series. So it's kind of nice to see these drivers kind of have a reprieve and they get to really show their driving ability and get to have a little fun. That's all. That's what this is supposed to be about. It's all about having fun and getting to see these drivers really get to have fun. That's something special, and I love watching them do it. Seth Harrelson, maybe not having so much fun. That truck is a real bear to drive right now. He's going sideways more often than he's going straight, even in the front straightaways.
He may have said it a little bit. I wonder if he bashed in the front end, maybe affected the aero on that car.
He's definitely affected a lot of that machine. The back end is all torn up. The front end is definitely not doing very well.
Pick a panel that isn't dented in.
Yeah, you can literally take a picture of that truck and try to sell it on Craigslist, and no one's gonna buy it. It's
no, bring a trailer. You're gonna need a trailer afterwards.
It's a roller.
That's the Shane Lake for hanging tough, though. I'm not used to Shane hanging in that long.
Shane Lake is doing a whale of a job. He's trying to catch up to the back end of 63, but he's running out of time. He's only got 2 laps to do it. Our leader, Atkin, kind of just like what we saw from Blanton earlier, he is checked out and hasn't looked back. He is cruising right now, taking the white flag. 1 more lap to go in Heat 2 for Atkin. You really couldn't have put on a better performance if you tried for these two drivers right now, because he's opened up a 5-second gap back to Whitendorf. He's going to cruise through turns 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, Blaine Atkin wins heat number 2.
I'm going to tell you, Blaine Atkin is the happiest person on this racetrack at the moment. He's like, man, I am so happy I got away from all that.
Yeah, especially the battle behind him, because he was right in the middle of it at some point and almost got in between a 3 and 63 sandwich, a 33 and 63 sandwich, I should say. And man, what a drive for some of these drivers. Hank Steinmiller kept it going straight after nearly bending it into a lot of the turns. Shane Lake, fantastic run, caps off a 4th place finish. But that's not all the racing that we've got on tap tonight. We've got one extra race, the main event, coming up very soon. And we're going to see what all of these drivers can do in the main event. You thought that the heats were intense? Well, let's throw all the trucks onto the track. And oh, by the way, it's nighttime. So we're going to get some pretty epic battles.
Well, you wanted the best. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to get the best. They may get 4 abreast, but they're probably going to hit the wall.
When did you write for Dr. Seuss? That was an amazing bit of poetry there.
Rhyme 102. It's after Sarcasm 101.
I never got that far. I only took the beginning course in how to be a douche. But
touche.
But these drivers on their warm up at the moment. We're waiting for them to really take onto the course. And Matt, you got in, and we're watching these drivers. What are the takeaways that you've seen from these drivers so far, as we see Jackson McLaren kind of shoot it up into the outside wall and then drift it right down to the inside wall and go back to the pit road? But what are some of the takeaways that we've seen from the first heats? And I kind of like this kind of racing, and I can't wait to see what this is going to be about with all these drivers.
I mean, I'm looking at it here, and if you want my brutally harsh opinion, I mean, we still got the safer barrier. We've made the racing line all the way up to the inside wall, and we still can't avoid that outside retaining barrier.
Yeah, that outside wall is like a magnet. It'll suck you in. Man, it doesn't help that these drivers throw it into these turns, and they really want to arc it around. I mean, just
look at the banking. The banking gives you so much confidence just to sling it on in there, and it's that harsh reality around mid-corner, like, oh, she ain't sticking.
Yeah, you're going to have to reprogram your brain, because you're used to running Bristol a very certain way for so long, and then all of a sudden you throw in this new curveball of, oh, by the way, the track is slick now, so you're going to have to figure out how to do this sideways now. So
pit road is lava.
Yeah, the road is lava for these drivers. Oh, man. It's fun to watch them. You do. They send it in and think it'll hold, but it definitely does not, and then it catches you out, and then, well, you're writing a check back to your insurance company, hoping that they'll give you a grant to pay off the loans you still owe on the truck. But
I'm sorry to hear about your student loans.
There's the crash right in front of Blanton as we're talking about this. Oh man, these guys. I gotta admit, I don't think that these guys really... I mean, I've seen them race trucks before, but I've never seen them race trucks like this before. And I'm having a fun time watching this.
It's obviously a little bit different from what they're used to. So being in all seriousness here, I mean, the 87 cars are really unrestricted beasts. I mean, 900 horsepower, arrow of a brick, not really very much grip or bias ply tires. They're almost a nightmare to drive or an unguided missile. But obviously going from that to the Camping World Truck Series trucks, I mean, obviously there's a nice step down in power. I think there's 650 in these trucks. Obviously having a little bit more aerodynamics than usual. Just better all-around grip. It's a little bit more of a tame car. It gives a little bit more grip and a little bit more confidence to some of these drivers who maybe are struggling with kind of a grip on a week-to-week basis. I mean, hey, you want a grip? Here's your grip.
Yeah. And it's kind of shocking for some of these drivers, because even though they're on dirt, they probably have a lot more grip than they would normally have on a regular basis if you're racing in the 87 series. Speaking of the 87 series, we were supposed to be at Darlington tonight, as we mentioned earlier. So these drivers were already preparing for a war with the Darlington Oval. So it's kind of like a step up in a way that you're going to a track that is not quite as foreboding, in a sense, because you were preparing to race the 87s at the track that is traditionally known as a track too tough to tame. But even still, and you mentioned it, even still, that wall, that wall.
I mean, why get a Darlington stripe when you get a piece of the Bristol fence?
You can, and
Great
the
seats.
cool thing is it's going to be memorabilia because it's the first time that we're seeing these on the dirt. So if you manage to snag a piece of it, then you could sell it on eBay for quite a bit of profit.
I need you to send me a virtually signed hero card. Wonder if Seth will pay for that.
I wonder if, if you put it up for auction, he would.
We need to get Casey Mears to sign it.
Yeah, first and foremost, get Casey Mears on the phone.
I've tried.
It's an endeavor that only God could accomplish, apparently.
He's a tough man to track down. I'm not lying.
He's probably living in somewhere North Carolina.
I mean,
out of the desert.
Just need to go track down NBC. I think he does the NASCAR pre-race shows.
Oh yeah, that is true. Maybe we can get his phone number from NBC Universal.
I'll talk to my guys.
All right, well, we're lining them up. We're getting ready for the main event race. 100 laps here tonight for these drivers. And again, we saw the heat races. We've seen all the way up through to this point in time. We know what the race is going to be like. Now we're just going to double the trucks on the track at the same time and more than quadruple the laps as we were running 15. And now we're going to be running a cool 100. So we're actually more or less taking the race and tuning up to about 87 or about 85% more than what we had earlier. So we've seen them race 15 laps. How do you survive 100 laps?
I mean, here's the big question. Obviously, at least in my mind, tires don't mean anything. At least not here. Tires, to me, at dirt tracks, they don't really mean very much. The big question is trying to keep the nose clean, trying to keep the truck clean in general. Obviously, you've got those fast repairs, but again, you want to hang on to them as long as possible. You don't want to use 3 fast repairs within 20 laps. I mean, hey, 21st lap, you get involved in that 4th accident. Well, unfortunately, you got to park it for today.
Yeah, and that is a bad news bears for these drivers if they bin it into the wall a little bit too early. Now, again, they do have the 3 that they can use, and they do have unlimited tires. So the threat isn't really prominent, but still, they would rather not have to use them. As we're getting a nice view of the Chevy Logan, now we're getting a nice view of the engine of the 31 machine right behind Michael Blanton. But we're about ready to set these drivers ready to go for 100 laps around the world's fastest half mile, now the world's fastest slippery half mile, as kind of like driving on ice for these drivers. And as you know, these drivers, or these trucks rather, don't like ice very much. So yeah, we'll have to see what these do. They don't use slick tires, surely. They have to be using treads.
No. They use a little bit of treads here.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way that they're out there on slicks, but here we go. Pace truck has peeled off. We're getting ready for 100 laps for these drivers. Green flags in the air. Hold on to your butts. This is going to be a long 100 laps.
It is charged in the turn 1 here.
I believe we might have lost Matthew Rodriguez. So,
I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah, you got me there.
3 wide back in the pack. It looks like that is maybe Peyton Hamlet.
That's Hamlet and company. Hamlet, Hound Shell, Christopher Morse, and James Roth back here duking it out. This is a great group of trucks battling out for what is going to be the 11th position if Peyton Hamlet does not get passed by Randy Koking. But Koking has second thoughts. He wants to try and get up to the outside.
Look at the front!
Oh, and there's contact between Hamlet and Koking. It's going to send Hound Shell, Morse, and a lot of them into it, and that's blocked up the track. We're under yellow.
Well, I was about to make a comment. That was a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be on start. That actually looked really impressive.
And it was. And then they drove it up into the top of the racetrack, that being Koking and Hamlet, and blockaded the track. And now we're under yellow for the first time tonight. Kind of weird saying that we're under yellow for the first time tonight because we're 2 races in technically. So these drivers are really doing a good job of keeping it clean. But we saw that happen right in front of us. Let's take another look at it really quickly. But that's kind of what happens when drivers stack up. It's almost impossible for the track to really have any grooves left.
I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at that accident. it was really just a case of getting a little bit confident, trying to do a slide job on him, and unfortunately just don't have the room. He had a better closing rate, better exit off the corner. Really just puts into perspective how difficult it is to avoid a wreck on this track, even with the dirt, even with the dirt kind of splattered all over the track and give you more usable lanes. Still difficult to avoid.
Yeah, we were watching there. It's just the track. The track just got blockaded. There's nowhere for these drivers to go. We'll get another look at it really quickly, but we mentioned it. These drivers, it was gonna be kind of one of those things where you just kind of go where your truck's gonna go, and unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, the dirt was not their friend, and that's a big stack up going on to the inside of the racetrack. But these drivers still have a faster pair, so not too hurt yet. And I use the term yet, but...
You want to hear a funny story, eh?
I would love to.
So I'm just listening to the driver chat here. I just heard Michael Blanton just ask Blaine Atkin if he can just give him a little bit more room on these restarts, and Gerald hey, guys, go. I'll follow him behind.
Oh, I'm sure Gerald would love to have these two go. Oh, Jared Campbell. If I were Campbell, I would be encouraging some battling right now. So, and this is the kind of thing that we're gonna expect out of these drivers. Is you can see Atkin trying to give some fishtail going on, kind of doing the shark down the back straight, or they make that the front straight, I believe that is. And man, if you're sitting in third place, do you use the bumper to possibly push Atkin into Blanton? Is my question. Normally
on lap 7, I would be trying to give as much room as possible, but to be honest, pack him and send him, FedEx him.
Well, yep, and
same day shipping.
Same day. If you live next to the Amazon distribution center, you're getting those onions the same day, my guy. Basically comparing this track to to onions from Amazon.
Now, it also is worth noting that it looks like they're delaying the green flag here, but it's obviously worth noting that there is a few guys on pit road possibly towing or just was unable to move from the accident. Now, since this is a fun race and kind of all in the good spirit, kind of sporting of the competition, if they do manage to get back out on track and there is more cautions, they will let them get their ass back under these cautions.
Indeed so. Like, everyone is not going to be several laps down. Because this is a fun race, they do get to have fun. So we'll be seeing them on the lead lap by the end of the race, hopefully. And that's the beauty of this kind of a race, is that you can have a catastrophe happen, and it's almost like it never happened. So,
well, technically, there's no prize on the line at the moment, but I can go ahead and hit up one of these drivers and say I'll throw down $10. Whoever wins the race. See if you want to make it interesting.
The roulette wheel of Bristol Motor Speedway.
The wheel of misfortune.
Oh, there are no numbers, just broken dreams.
Everyone's got everyone's number.
Well, right now on my screen, Blaine Atkin doesn't have a number, so wonder what that would happen. But
well, he figured the nice matte blue would blend into the nice brown dirt.
Ah, yes.
He was trying out for that Camping World Truck Series paint scheme challenge, but I forgot to put the logos on the car.
Nothing like default blue. We're back to green flag racing, and I think Atkin might have heard what we were saying because he is trying to check out, but 24 Blanton says otherwise. Whoa, they're banging right back behind them, and that's Houndshell, Weindorf, Steinmiller. That could have been another incident that blocks up the entire track, and Harleston's up in the wall. There's a lot of stuff happening on the racetrack right now. Shane Lake.
Weindorf gave, it looks like Campbell, just a little bit of assistance there.
He was.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Blaine and Michael!
That's for the lead, and now it's a big battle for the lead, because here comes Houndshell and the rest, unless Houndshell gets turned by Steinmiller. But Steinmiller backs away. Man, these drivers
the biggest issue. Normally the big issue at Bristol isn't the wreck itself, is the chain reaction behind it. I think the wreck may be more deadly than a chain reaction.
Hey, remember what we were saying about Campbell? He's got the lead, so I think he heard what we were talking about and actually used it. Now he's trying to check out Atkins running him down, but the real battle's back here. Whoa! Weindorf up in the outside wall, and the yellow's out. The 19 of Koking's around and has gotten towed to pit road. Well, we're back under yellow. What happened to Randy Koking?
I don't know about that, but I can tell you, I heard Blayton's kind of analysis of the entire move of Atkin, and I can't repeat it here on broadcast, but he wasn't too pleased.
Let's say probably a little bit angry. What happened to the 19 is the question. We're going to find out.
Looks almost like just a self-spin, or just got a little bit too over grandiose into the corner and just sent it.
A little overzealous, a little bit of a love tap on the front end, and he stalled it in the racetrack, and that's what put us under yellow for the second time this evening in our main event. So nothing too serious for the 19, although spending quite a bit of time on pit road for reasons. And we've got some drivers that decide that they wanted to make some stops, mainly our leader, and he overshot his pit stall.
Well, since it's a fun event, you want to see if we can pull a few drivers?
Oh, let's go for it.
Let me see who we got here. How about Blaine Atkin?
Yeah, let's pull him in. And Matt has left. He'll get back in eventually. Here he is.
Give me just one moment. Hey, Blaine, it's Matt and Anthony here in the FRM booth. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty dang good.
Well, we've had an interesting start to this race. What's your take?
Well, I think it's wild, and I think we should do more of this. It's definitely crazy, and I love it for sure.
Yeah, we get to see these drivers, all these drivers, especially you guys, really get to see what you got in the bank as far as skill goes. And I know a lot of you guys are used to racing dirt tracks, and you won one of the heats. So you kind of going back to your roots. Do you prefer dirt track racing? And how do you feel about getting this win?
Well, I think it's very possible. I just need to clear Gerald here, and I think he's taking the outside here, so it's going to be really hard to get the jump on him.
So, big burning question on my mind is, the matte blue truck, was that a styling choice or just trying to be bold?
I don't know. I think it just stayed with the blue, and I never really changed it.
Well, at least the Silverado is, the Silverado logos are represented on the car.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, default blue is probably my favorite of the default colors. So you've got a very aesthetic truck to look at nonetheless. But hopefully we get to see that truck in victory lane because you've got a fast one.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm hoping we can finish there.
All right, I'll go ahead and move you back to your team channel here. Hopefully we get to talk just a little bit later in the race.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Blaine Atkin, driver of the what would normally be the 44 truck, is actually just the Blue Mobile this time around. So it's sponsored by Eiffel 65. So we'll.
You know what's one car I want to see go around here?
The
Pope Mobile.
from the unforgettable and completely flawless Cars 2.
I think the Pope Mobile could rip the cushion.
Mobile could probably destroy everybody. He was the main villain in that movie for sure.
Got a few more 1,000 pounds.
A battle between the Pope Mobile and what was the other one? Oh, whatever. I'll think of it later. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing. Campbell on the outside line gets a good jump, and he's actually gotten in front of Blaine Atkin, who's going to try and send it to the side of him. And Campbell's going to get away from it, but they're 4 wide. Oh, they are 4 wide. They somehow make it work. Benefit because Campbell and Atkin decided to
hit him again. He hit him again.
Whoa, there's a lot of... 3 wide back behind him for 3rd place. And let's go. Outshell, Stein, Miller, and Weindorf. And Weindorf gets the worst end of it as now he's 3 wide again, but this time between Arlson and Johnson. And the 33 is sideways. Sideways. And the cone has been killed.
I mean, we heard about Blaine, and Blaine said as soon as he got around Campbell, we think he'd be fine. I didn't think he was going to be that aggressive in it, though. 3 by 3 behind.
Whoa, my goodness. We're going to go on board with the 24 Blaine. Look at the chaos in front of him, and he's in the middle of it, trying to figure out a way to get around these drivers. Man, they're driving their hearts out, trying to get it. We're only 21 laps into this race.
Amazing battle up front between Atkin and Campbell. Campbell's trying to work that bottom lane, trying to arc down, get as much as he can. He's into pit road.
I don't know if that was intentional or not. I think he lost it, and the pit road was the only saving grace that he had.
I mean, it's either that or the barrels, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pick the over. Someone just lost it back there. I think that may have been, was it Steinmiller?
Looking here,
No,
it
it's
was. The 63 is falling back like a rock. He's got a lot of damage on that 63 machine now.
I think I saw him touch those barriers just a little bit.
And that will end your momentum in a heartbeat. Some drivers that do have momentum, though, in the right direction is... Whoa! I was going to say Christopher Morse, but Shane Lake and James Roth decided to have a bit of a meet and greet as they pounded doors. Now here comes Christopher Morse trying to join in the party. Three's the crowd, but he's got a guy coming to him, so it's technically a double date between Lake, Roth, Morse, and McLaren.
Remember, we talked to Morse right before really the broadcast started, and he said, man, it's either going to be upside down or I'm going to bring back the trophy or steering wheel.
Well, at this point, he might bring back the entire deck lid of the car because the way he's driving it, man, he is wheeling it around.
Look at Blayton just sent it in on Whitendorf. Whitendorf touches him a little bit.
There's a lot of battles going on in the race right now. Blanton's got around Whitendorf. Oh, back behind, though. Houndshell not so lucky. He got right up in the side of Whitendorf, and that's going to be a battle between third place now between these two. I don't think we're talking about Jake Houndshell hardly any tonight. He's doing a really good job trying to get third place. Almost sends it up into Whitendorf, though.
That's the thing. You're on these dirt tracks. You're digging for all that you can, and unfortunately, sometimes you just dig a little bit too much, and the wall says, "Hey, come here for a minute."
Yeah, you don't really hit iron. You hit a lot of coal, and that's not what you want. So, trying to figure out a way to slip in some Minecraft turns into this race, but not really finding it so far. But
obviously, I'm seeing Blanton. Blanton's wanting to reach the back of that. I think he's may want to pay him back. Odd guy that I'm going to actually shine some light on is Shane Lake. He's running up here in almost the 5th, 6th position, kind of fighting really good on that high lane.
He is, and he's got a whole host of cars coming with him, so he's got some friends that can really help him. Unless Morse decides to take him out first. Almost did. Man, that was good heads-up driving on Morse. I don't know if he got on the brakes or just let off the throttle, but there was a lot of going on in that 3 machine. Now trying to wheel it around. Shane Lake, you were talking about him earlier. Lake has put on one heck of a performance tonight, and I dare say he's got en route for maybe a top 5 if he keeps running like this.
Yeah, I mean, he did the smart move, and he ended up hitting the back right of the car, so he angled that spoiler just a little bit, probably affecting his speed, but I'm going to make up some story saying that's really helping his speed through here as he continues to hit the wall.
Yeah, you get the little, it's the wall bounce that you get. It speeds you up. Don't you know? It's not, it doesn't slow you down. Oh, that one did. Oh, he's right in the outside wall. He's stuck to it. That's not a Darlington stripe, but it's a Bristol stripe, and he almost went down into 3, and Morse almost went up into Houndshell, and Lake hit the wall again. This could be a music and now Lake and I think went around, and the yellow flag is at the track, and they're still wrecking.
The track's blocked.
The track is blocked. Ah! Oh, what an amazing sequence of events that was.
That was. I feel bad for Shane. He was doing so well until we put the camera on him and we gave him that curse.
The commentator's curse is real for any of those wondering. That was a perfect example of what the commentator's curse is. We're watching a replay of what happened, and it really started up further down the road between Lake and the rest. But here comes Roth, there's Lake, and they make contact and they go around. There's really nothing more to say except the track is blocked and everyone goes.
If it's any solace, James Roth did apologize to Shane, just saying, "Hey, it was my fault." Obviously, it doesn't help a little bit more. You think giving him an interview would make his spirits any better?
It could. We could always try.
Hey, my main man, Shane Lake, how you doing? It's Matt and Seth, or Matt, not Seth. Matt and Anthony here in the FRN booth. How you doing?
What's happening, guys?
Well, I mean, how you doing? I mean, we put the camera on you. We were talking like, man, he's doing great, and then you just plow a fence.
You know, it's typical dirt track racing. I mean, doggone 4 came up. It was a tough little battle, and things happen.
We've seen a lot of things happen. You were doing really well up in the battle four wide for I believe that was the 7th or the 6th place position at the time. So you got some speed under this truck. Now, my question is, how many fast repairs might you have left? Because we know that you got 3 of them. Have you had to use one yet? And do you have any in the bank for later if you need to use the fenders again?
Well, just used one of them, so I mean, you figure every 33 laps, you might have something for them at the end. So I got 2 in the bank for now.
All right, Shane, I'll give you a little bit of an incentive here. Obviously, I want to see you do well. I want to see you get your interview here at the end of the race. So I'll do this for you. Finish first, $25, and I'll send you out an FRN shirt.
10-4, boys. I'm gonna do what I can to put this old '81 Camping World Chevrolet up front.
Nah, boy, send it. Send it and ship it.
Hey, we'll save that for 20 to go. How about that?
Nice speaking with you.
Yeah, you too, guys. Enjoy the show.
Seems in good spirits. Oh man, that was an FRN shirt is enough incentive to really get your goat going, and you know that 81.
Sadly, my wardrobe is almost all FRN shirts.
Between FRN and band shirts, that's kind of what I got, and I'm sticking to it.
It's either Stay Puft or FRN. Take your pick.
Yeah, and right now he's got the prettiest looking truck on the field right now, as he's got that thing nice and clean and repaired. And I gotta say, it's almost weird seeing these trucks when they look like without any damage on them, because I almost forgot what a stock truck looks like before you beat on the side of it, and man, they look good. Anyway, I digress. The 24.
I really hope Shane can pull it through. I'm really hoping for him.
You just want to make that FRN shirt shine.
I mean, listen, sales has been down. Sales has been down. We're about to lose at the farm.
Well, it's either that or the cow, so here we go. That's the plot of Jack and the Beanstalk, loosely.
I did not know that.
Loosely, that's Jack and the Beanstalk.
Loosely, I don't remember Jack going for the shirts.
Just replace the Beanstalk with FRN merchandise, and the cow with something. Not
Shane
a cow.
Lake?
Shane Lake. It's either Shane or the cows, or you get the point. Pace truck's pulling off pit road. Pulling onto pit road rather. We're gonna go back to green. We've got 65 laps to go, and everything's kind of the same way as when it started, because Michael Blanton is now trying to get away from Atkin, but Atkin is saying, no, thank you, I would like that position
There's a
back
bit of a
from you.
stack up back in the pack with the hound shells.
Oh, the hound shell. You're right. The hound shells are really hounding it on as they try to. I know that was bad. But where they're, I'm trying new material while I got the chance. So,
gotta try.
If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, there's no consequences.
Don't waste all your A game this week.
Carlson really putting it down and trying to get up to the front of that Copenhagen machine, the very modern Copenhagen machine, not the country, but the tobacco. So, actually, Copenhagen's the city and a country, but anyway, I can.
Isn't it the capital?
Details.
Oh, more sending it in on hound shell.
These drivers really getting amped up now. We're on lap 39 of 100. These drivers still got quite a ways to go still, so not exactly any time soon that these drivers will be having to think about the end of the race, but a lot of them are just trying to figure out how to drive these trucks, because they really haven't had a whole lot of time to really figure these trucks out. And the more that I watch these guys go around the track, the more I realize that they have got some of the hardest battles to do right now, because not only do they have to figure out how to drive these trucks.
Harrelson really tried to send it aggressively in that corner, overshot, just hit the wall.
And he's got a nice little dink on the back end now, but that's just extra aerodynamics. It's facing the right direction, so
assistance.
yeah. Remember when back in a while ago when these drivers?
Oh no! I was about to talk about him. Jackson McLaren. He was doing so well up in the top 10, about 7th. Overcorrected, just slammed the wall.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage on that truck now, and that 7 Camping World machine. We're hitting our Camping World truck quota for the day, so got
and
2 of them in the field.
Campbell's working his way back up the field. Looks like Shane Lake and the 91 of Peyton Hamlet were in the wall back there. They got it all sorted back out.
They do indeed. Oh, everyone except for Lake, as he pounds the outside wall again in the 2nd of the Camping World trucks, and really trying to figure out a way around this track. And with that newly damaged truck, it was very clean, now very not. So
Oh, Roth got a little bit of assistance from Jake. Roth goes around, hits Cooper Johnson. Cautioned, not out.
No yellow, but a very damaged 4 machine. So he's kind of hoping there's yellow coming out. Might want to bend it onto the racetrack to throw a yellow out, but not doing it so. But that's going to be a fast repair for the 4 machine, undoubtedly. So bringing it down onto pit road.
Look at Morse. Look at Morse up here in the top 5 in the rainbow machine.
That's a very brightly colored 3 machine. I love that car.
It kind of looks like Magic Sand, and they kind of made it into a paint scheme.
It looks like a Fruit Loops box, I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to dispute that.
But, I'm not complaining with Fruit Loops. They have
But
never done me
Whitendorf,
wrong.
Whitendorf, I've noticed, is starting to track down Michael Blanton here.
Yeah, he's really starting to find some grip down on the inside of the racetrack, does that 33, and I wouldn't be surprised if he catches up very soon. Now, I won't.
Shane Lake, it looks like Shane Lake, Campbell, and Hamlet kind of doing a little bit of a battle back here. I know Campbell's having some difficulties getting past Hamlet.
Yeah, they are all struggling right now, but Campbell trying his desperate hardest, but that almost ended in a disaster, and Lake was gripping the wheel a bit tighter than he normally would that time through turns 3 and 4. Oh, they're still sideways. I don't like the way this is brewing, especially spins. Hamlet's around, no yellow yet. And the yellow gods the yellow gods have decided to keep it in the pocket this time.
That's either the flagman's asleep or
Now we slipped him a $5. He didn't see that.
You didn't see anything.
Capiche?
But still looking throughout the field here, Whitendorf is really the closest one in striking distance here. He's slowly starting to work down on Blanton. It looks like the 24 may have parked it a little bit in that corner. Gave Whitendorf about a 0.5 of a second almost increase to jump up there.
He's really wanting to kind of get that arc and then just gun it down the straightaway.
And Whitendorf ends up parking it away in turn, looks like 2. Yeah,
that would be... I believe that was turn 4, rather. He's coming through turns 1 and 2 now, I think, unless my track... no, that was... You were right. That was turns 1 and 2, so my track data is a little bit off. I thought it was reversed, but...
I have centrifugal circuit.
Same. Same. I was just trying to figure out which end of the speedway was the front straightaway, so...
But Harrelson now is kind of in striking distance of Whitendorf. Noticing a car in front of him, it looks like the 91 of Peyton Hamlet. Man, he has had a rough race.
He has. He has been through the ringer
Caution's out.
Times. What is why? The 60
looks like Steinmiller's on the front straightaway, or back straightaway.
Oh, but what happened, though?
Oh, it looks like got a little bit of assistance from Jackson McLaren, but it looks like McLaren almost had nowhere to go.
We're going to find out everything that happened with our dear friend, the 63. If we can get to there. Here we go. And we're watching it. It's on the back straightaway now. I like how these drivers really like to turn right to go straight on this track. So first and foremost, but I think he looped it, tried to save it, not quite, took out a cone, and then a little bit of help, and that is 3 strikes and you're out for a yellow. And that was a very tame crash. It could have been a lot worse.
Well, while we're sitting here under caution, let's go ahead and pull James Roth. I know he's kind of had a inadvertent or kind of a down and up and down race, but just kind of curious what happened here.
I want to be curious what happened to Steinmiller because he's looped it around under pacing.
Hey James, it's Matt and Anthony here in the booth. How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, I mean, man, you got off to a hot start. What happened?
Just a little contact. Just kind of spun around there and had to come down pit road for a quick repair.
So I gotta ask, what's kind of been the overall opinion of this race so far? We've seen a lot of battlings, and from the booth anyway, it looks fun. Are you guys having some fun?
Yeah, I think everybody's having a heck of a lot of fun, and it sure seems like everybody's everywhere, and nobody's getting mad, so that's kind of the fun part about it. You're right. Everybody knows it's for fun, so no tempers tonight.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask the strange question. What room were you in?
I'm in the Hound Show Racing Room.
All right, thank you very much, because I was very concerned. I didn't want to drop you in country roads. It's not West Virginia, unfortunately, tonight.
Yeah.
But thanks for speaking with James. I'm telling you,
Yep. No problem. Thanks.
get back up there.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Seems very cheerish. That's good. I love hearing that these drivers are having a good time, because I am having an absolute blast with this race so far, and just seeing these drivers have a good time. And as I stated earlier, that is the important thing with these fun races. It gives these drivers a little bit of time to really relax and just have a fun time out on the racetrack. And I don't think I was going to say this until tonight's race, but the leader is the 81 of Shane Lake.
See, that's something I'm going to tell you. Shane's probably the happiest person here at the moment.
He is, and he's got that bit of aero assistance on the back of the truck, too. He's got that right side kinked in, so he's got some extra aerodynamics going through the turns. It's almost like, circa 2011 when people were pulling out the fender flares on the NASCARs? Or was
Remember
that
Shane
2014?
Lake? That was, I think, 2013, 2014. I think they stopped it in 2015, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, NASCAR decided that was against the rules.
The Camping World truck is just gently pre-owned. It's fine.
Slightly used.
Just remember, Shane Lake, obviously $25 in an FRN shirt if he pulls off this miracle.
Yeah, and that is worth fighting for.
I'm going to tell you, I hope he blocks him going all the way in the first corner.
Well, the Camping World Machine is going to fight against the Default Mobile, and we're going to find out which one of the two can really get this run as we're about ready to go back to green. What you got? Do you got Camping World number 2 or Default Mobile?
Come on, Shane, push him up the track. Push him up in that wall.
Here we go. Actually, I think they've called off the restart.
Why you got me excited for nothing?
I thought the pace truck came in, but they stayed out one extra lap. So we're going around yet again. And we're going to put them back under green this time by. So hold on to your horses. We've still got a long way to go. Working lap 57 of 100. Caution number 4. We're about to set them back going at lap 58. I'm Anthony McCurry. Alongside of me is Matthew Rodriguez. Matt is, it's been fun being with you in the booth, and we still got some racing to go, so I'm going to let you call this restart.
Absolutely, as we see Shane Lake leading us down to the restart. Chokes on the restart, stacks up the inside and the outside lane with Atkin. I think that Atkin might get a black flag out of that. I'm not positive.
It was on the outside line, so maybe not, and I don't think black flags would really be a big factor in this race, but we're seeing a big battle back for second place as Shane Lake trying to hold back the advance of Weindorf, and there are a lot of them, 3 wide for second. Weindorf in the middle, Campbell on the inside, Lake on the outside.
Campbell?
Oh!
Where did Campbell come from? Campbell was back there fighting in the pack.
Yeah, he got a heck of a restart. He's got second place. Give second place to the 6 machine. Wow, what a run. Oh, Weindorf gets into the wall.
And Campbell is now back on the attack. He obviously is going to remember what Atkin was kind of, how he was racing him. So, big question. Oh, Weindorf comes in, hits Campbell. Oh, Shane Lake Houndshell.
Is contact? Oh, no. I think that was, who was that? The 7 of Jackson McLaren pounded the inside wall. Everyone except for McLaren, because he just hit the tire barrier, or the barriers going on to pit road, and he's gotten back going the right direction. But man, everyone else though, they're still going straight somehow.
There's still a battle for second and third here. It looks like Weindorf currently working on Morse. Again, Morse said this is not going to be one of his races, so it's interesting to see him up here.
Indicative of Christopher Morse, though. He always underplays his abilities, and we're seeing just how good he really is at some of these dirt tracks. Doesn't necessarily have to have the outright pace, but if he can stay consistent, we can see what that 3 machine can do, because he's in 3rd place. But he's got some company, because Weindorf trying to stick it in down the inside. I don't think he's got enough to get the pass done.
Oh, Jason and Peyton Hamlet. They saved it. Looks like the 63 of Hank got the, or at least Steinmiller got kind of the bad end of this.
Yeah, he's gotten a long way to go. That machine looks like it could use some fresh paint, at the very least.
And Weindorf currently working on Morse here. Weindorf taking a little bit more of aggressive on bottom line. Morse is taking a little bit higher line, trying to get a better exit. And does just that, manages to pull himself clear once more.
He does do that, trying to figure out a way to get around the Skittles mobile, but not really finding that groove just yet. Still side by side between the 3 and the 33. Can Morse figure out a way to get some of that extra power down? Unless he gets into the wall, I don't think he's been able to wall glitch that one.
Just getting a little bit of assistance from the wall.
Yeah, set your car going in the right direction.
I mean, got a haul truck.
And I just remembered that this is with the new damage model too, so these drivers, they really are feeling the effects of hitting the wall.
No, sir. This does not have a new damage model. That's the 87 cars.
Oh, that is just the 87s. All right, never mind.
Also, it probably wouldn't help. It probably wouldn't help if these things had a new damage model. It'd be tires flying everywhere.
Yeah, no kidding. There would be a lot of chaos, more than we're seeing right now with this side-by-side battle. I gotta admit,
Whitendorf's still battling.
Kind of like it's kind of like watching a Formula Drift event where you're in a train and you're all going around. This is indicative of something like that, except they're not really that close together. But I'm pretty sure if you put some of these guys in a skyline, that they'd be able to make some drift rounds. But not so much on dirt though, as they're so close to. I'm waiting for when one of these guys breaks loose and
I'm looking back here in seventh. James Roth, Shane Lake, and Cooper Johnson all battling here for it looks like the 7th position.
Just waiting for one of these drivers to hit the inside and yeet it up to the outside of the racetrack and really show.
Well, you almost got your wish. James Roth almost cut that inside just a little bit too close. So he almost hit the pit barrier.
Cooper Johnson almost took a shot to the outside wall as well. So pinning it down on the inside.
And Whitendorf almost completed the pass there, still hounding Christopher Morse at 3rd position.
Michael Blanton is catching up to Harrelson. Harrelson's also catching up to Whitendorf and Morse. We saw the 24 out front a while ago. Still trying to figure out how to get back to the front as we're working lap 69.
And there's a new battle for 5th, or it looks like for 5th for Michael Blanton and Seth Harrelson.
Yeah, that battle has just been completed. Harrelson was in front of Blanton.
Not too much.
There's a little bit of a bump from Harrelson as Blanton tries to save it. And Harrelson got the receiving end of that. If that's not karma, I don't know what is.
See, that's been Harrelson's almost biggest Achilles heel, where he can send it in on these corners, but he just cannot complete it, and he just drives it right into the wall.
Riding on board with Harrelson. Seth Harrelson in the 07, currently in the 6th position. He was in 3rd at one point in this race, but has since then fallen back quite a bit. So, have to see if he can really work up back to the front of the field.
And Whitendorf may get it done this time.
He's trying on board with Whitendorf. You can't see the 3 machine. That's because he's right to the outside. There's a battle for the lead, I think.
Campbell almost, it looks like he almost took out the 63 of Steinmiller. Steinmiller's definitely not making life easy on Campbell here at the moment.
Thought it was a battle for the lead. It was a different blue machine. The default mobile is up at the front of the field running away like we saw him in the heat race. The last thing he wants to see is a yellow flag.
I'm telling you, Michael Blanton's looking at this 3 and the 33 and saying, man, keep on battling. I'm almost here.
He's catching up, trying to figure out a way to get up there. And man, I'm trying to see back here, back to the pack of the pack. And everyone's kind of gotten spread out. Never mind, Shane Lake. We were talking about Shane Lake having that first starting position. Well, he is back to 7th right now in a battle still with the 14 of Johnson and Roth as they're all sliding in different angles. And
Steinmiller almost took out, it almost looks like the 3rd place cars here.
Did indeed. Steinmiller's making himself a bit of a nuisance between these guys running in 3rd and 4th place. Here comes Blanton. He's in the mix now. Steinmiller just hoping this race ends at this point in time because he's got one car handling. Oh, goodness.
Caution is out. It looks like it's for
Cooper Johnson. And I want to bet that was a battle between him, Lake, and Roth.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to get right up on Roth's bumper, and unfortunately just got a little bit too over grandiose on the throttle and just spun around on the bottom of the track. Fortunately, was caught or just close enough to the cars to cause a caution. I'm going to tell you, Blaine Atkin is not a happy person right now. I mean, he just saw almost a 3-second lead get just kind of thrown away in the trash here.
Yeah, he had a huge lead, and well, that's how Bristol goes. Yeah, I think Johnson just lost it all by himself, and well, at least he didn't hit anything. So
looks like all the lead coming down pit road. either to top off on fuel or just try her hand at some new tires here.
New tires would be nice for these drivers right now. You're already slippery enough, so why not put some extra rubber on and see if you can make it even more slippery? As
James Roth is now our new leader.
I wonder how he pulled that one off.
Just not bidding.
You know that. You got a point.
It helps. Strategy.
Strategy.
The stratagem.
Stratagem. That car looks really dirty though.
I'm gonna tell you, if I was James Roth, I mean, the first person I wouldn't want to see in my bumper is Gerald Campbell, and the guy I wouldn't want right behind me is Blaine Atkin as well.
No,
these guys have been on it all day.
No kidding. He's got a lot of trucks right behind him that really want to gun for his spot. So, oh boy.
Well, I said it's his crown here, and that's the thing. These guys have been the class of the field, and it's really a big question mark. Campbell's gonna be in that first car on the outside lane, but Blaine Atkins on that inside lane, and that kind of that preferred lane going into one.
He is indeed. So, still running around trying to figure out a way to get this win. Does Roth? And I wonder if these no stop strategy will work out for him.
I was hearing some of these drivers over the at least the driver chat here. I mean, it sounds like everyone's just having a blast. I mean, kind of asking if we want to move it to 200 laps.
Oh, that would be fun to watch these drivers go around the track a lot more for a few more rotations, because they have made it quite a show for us. And for all of those watching, this is not the typical G4 Sim Racing series that we see on our typical Tuesday nights.
Sporting code is not in effect.
Not this time. If you're just joining us, this is a special event. The trucks at Bristol Dirt for the G4 series. The Vintage 87 series, which would normally take place on Tuesday nights, has been postponed a week. They will be racing, they will be resuming the regular schedule next week, and we will be going to Darlington then. For all those who wanted Darlington tonight, you're getting equally as good of a show. These trucks at the newly created Bristol Dirt, and I gotta say, this has been one of the best shows that we've seen on dirt in quite some time.
I mean, like we were saying at the top, I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, definitely the rest ain't that bad.
Absolutely not. And if you're trying to figure out who these drivers are, their numbers pretty much correlate to what they do in the 87 series, except for the odd one out being Jared Campbell, who is in a 6 machine, and I kept calling it the 31 earlier. My ticker says it's the 31. Somebody, please don't sue me.
I believe that he may have had a car from a different league that he may have forgotten to swap out the paint scheme before we went green. Obviously, with this being the unusual car, he probably just didn't prepare one.
Nah, I have a feeling a lot of these drivers trying to just threw whatever they had on at the time and went in. Case in point, you're looking back there. If you're just joining us, Blaine Atkin rocking what we've deemed the default mobile.
Campbell just borrowed one of Steinmiller's cars. He just took the 3 out the side.
Fair. That's fair.
Blimp fishing.
Blimp fishing.
That's what it says in the car. Green flag is out. Almost looks like the field got stacked up just a little bit with Roth not getting going. Morse almost attacking the bottom. Look at Atkin.
Goodness, you can put a piece of paper between these drivers. Look who's going for the lead.
Oh, Morse is not going to lift.
Oh, Morrissey's on the inside, hugging it, trying to get the lead, and the man who said he's not good at dirt tracks has led a lap.
Now here comes the big question. That's the second time it's happened to Campbell. You think if they get in another situation where they have another restart, you think Campbell's going to be a little bit lenient on this third time?
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's going to gun for it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he puts Atkin in the wall. Absolutely would not be surprised. I don't know if we're going to get another chance, although the way these drivers are
car
racing,
spinning around on the inside looks like Houndshell or Roth.
That's Roth. The 4 machine has spun around yet again. We were talking about him earlier, and we commentator cursed him yet again.
Looks like he got just a little bit of assistance from Peyton Hamlet.
Maybe a little bit of bumpers were being used. We have seen that all night long, and wouldn't be surprised if that was the issue here. We're still trying to get a replay of it. There we are.
It takes a minute.
There we are. There we go. For your viewing pleasure, you get to see the four doing a pirouette around at the expense of Peyton Hamlin. So there you go. That's why we're under yellow. And no harm, no foul. Looks like there's not any more damage on that 4 machine than was previously on it. Albeit he might have broken the gearbox a little bit as he stalled a little bit going off the scene of the accident. So
There's a lot of dirt in the front end of that car.
one could say it needs a bath.
Wonder how much air is getting in that car.
I don't even want to know. Probably 0.
Arm getting a little bit itchy.
Welp. Oh man, well we're underpacing yet again. We've still got about 15 laps to go at this point in time. So we were just talking about him. We were going to do some interviews. Why don't we get a driver that we haven't interviewed yet? Let's get Christopher Morse in the booth.
I'm unable because Christopher Morse is not in the Discord.
How about that? We can't get Christopher Morse. Do we have?
I do have Jason and Jake Houndshell are the only people we have not interviewed.
Let's get one of the Houndshells in here.
Jake. Howdy, Jake. It's Matt and Anthony here in the booth. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I mean, I should ask you about what's going on out there.
I really don't have any idea. I am just trying to survive tonight.
Boy, I'll give you the same deal that I gave Shane Lake, $25 and a shirt if you manage to just send in the one and just take the lead. Take the lead, go win this thing.
Send it for $25. You got a deal.
Hey, send it and win it. Send it and win it. There's never catch on that one.
Rubbin's racing, after all, and I tell you what, if you just $25 alone, I would do anything for $25. So
that's not a good thing to put out.
Let's see if I can do it here.
All right, here we go. We're gonna find out. Good luck tonight. Well, we're gonna find out if he actually does what you asked him to, because he's about ready to send it in. Here we go. We're back to green, and I don't think he was far enough in front to really do anything. Still stacking up right behind him, though.
I think he was caught napping on that restart. Right now, Blaine Atkin is just kind of driving away. Christopher Morse kind of trying to hold down second, but he's trying to kind of protect it from a hard-charging Blanton, and it looks like he almost got by. And look at Campbell trying to get by Whitendorf.
Whitendorf said, "Nah, fam, I'm gonna hit the brakes and stop your progress." And now the 3 wide. Whoa! Morris almost clipped right into Blanton, and that could have been disaster from netcode, but
3 wide behind.
Oh, I'm telling you what, this is peak entertainment for someone that's running on 5 hours of sleep.
Oof.
Oh man, this is fantastic stuff.
Blanton just got around Morse. Right now, he's still within striking distance. 10 laps to go this time. Obviously, he's trying to track down Atkin just to have one final shot at him.
Look at the eyes of Whitendorf as we're on board with him. Look at the intent that you can see on the eyes. He knows he wants to take out Jake Houndshell. Does Houndshell continue his promise? I wonder if he will, because he's right there. He could send it at this point in time. I would bet that he was thinking about it.
I don't know if he can send it from 2 seconds back and get the lead, but if he can, I mean, color me impressed.
You could ride the wall, you know? You tell you what, you could Casey Kane and ride the wall and get some momentum off of that.
Didn't Casey Kane break a leg trying to do that?
That details.
As it looks like Blanton he's tracked down Atkin just a little bit. Just got about a 0.2 of a closer. Oh, look at Morse! He's got body slammed by Campbell.
Yeah, Morse and Campbell in a heated battle right now, and the Skittles Mobile's a little bit expired as he's gotten a lot of dirt on that machine, but here comes Campbell trying to hold it down. I don't know if Campbell's got anything for Morse, but Morse is definitely putting the brakes on. Oh, and I blinked out of the server.
No, Whitendorf here. Whitendorf still trying to get by, actually looks like he did it this time, by Jake Houndshell, currently in hot pursuit of Gerald Campbell.
Yeah, Jared Campbell kind of... Oh, there goes Whitendorf at the racetrack. Almost sent it out to the outside wall, but he gathered it up. 7 laps to go in the race, and...
Look at Blanton. Blanton's tracking the 44 down. Looks like Campbell sent Morris into the corner.
We could have a battle on our hands at the end of this race between Blanton and Atkin. I'm excited for it. A lot of these drivers behind trying to just get in a position where they can use the bumper if they need to. Here comes the 24. Rest in peace, Jeff Gordon, but we're still driving.
Jeff Gordon, still much alive. I see Christopher Moore still trying to kind of stay tight in that high lane. I think he's trying to keep the better exit away from Campbell, but Campbell looks very strong in that bottom lane.
He does, and that's the thing. Is that
Campbell's now coming under fire from Whitendorf.
he's trying. Whoa! Whitendorf almost decided to use the bumper. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of these trucks go around in the next few laps and pinning it down to the inside. Morse on the outside. Oh, gets
cautions out.
By Campbell, and that's gonna
Houndshell, Jason Houndshell, Cooper Johnson, Roth,
Miller. A lot of these drivers is a pile up in turn 2. Now, what happened here?
Well,
What did
I just heard Christopher Morse come over to driver's chat saying, "I never drove so hard in my life."
What did he do?
Taking a look here.
Let's see what he do.
It really looked like Roth, or I'm not sure if that was Roth there.
I think someone just parked the brakes in the turn and
it looks like
nowhere to go.
Yeah, Steinmiller just got a really better corner and fortunately tagged him, and Roth was trying to avoid Steinmiller and fortunately just slid into him.
There she blows, and that's why we're under our 7th caution of the night. So
now, Anthony, we've got 3 green white checkers here. We just saw how hard these guys were racing for what they thought was the last 5 laps. What do you think you're going to see on this green white checker? Because everyone's going to be within range of each other. Who's going to be brave enough to send it here? I mean, I'm seeing Jake Houndshell down there. I'm like, I think he may make good in his bet here.
Jake Houndshell, he's right there. I think that we're gonna have to divvy out $25 and some merchandise, but I honestly think that hear me out. Shane Lake is an 8th. It's not impossible.
I could see it happening.
I think that he's gonna send it up the middle. I bet.
Here's
the
the thing.
See it up the middle.
It's a green white checkered. If you can get by him, you have to defend for about a lap and a half. I think it's honestly possible, but the problem is if you send it in on someone, you're going to get a terrible exit, which is then going to set them up for the entrance to the next corner just to dive it in back on you.
Details.
So that's a key thing where I wonder if someone's going to send it in, try to run away, and then hit the brakes trying to get him to slam the wall.
Or, maybe someone will just send it into the side of one of these drivers, and some of these fans in the stands are going to take away some memorabilia.
They're in the splash zone.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a Guar concert? It's basically what we're gonna see, except with flying truck parts. Never sit front row at a Guar show unless you want to get drenched. But
and the lights on the pace car are out.
And here's how we're gonna set this restart up. Blaine Atkin in the default mobile running in first place, and we got Blaine make that Michael Blanton in the Jeff Gordon tribute car running in second place. Then we've got Jared Campbell in the not 31-6 machine running in third. And then we have John Whitendorf in the maroon 33. That is your color commentary. We don't have black and white TVs anymore.
I think I'm willing to go on my corner saying we're not going to finish on this green white checkered here.
Absolutely not, because that 02 is...
Blaine Atkin got an amazing start.
That would be if Blaine Atkin doesn't check out. Here we go. Oh, Blanton trying to
look at Campbell
back.
You think Campbell remembers those 2 times where he was bounced out of the way? There's a bouncing in the back. They all save it. Still a battle up here for second and third.
And we're gonna get the white flag. I think somehow we're 3 wide. Oh, Blanton up into Campbell, but they save it. White flag's in the air one more time around Bristol Dirt. And I think if everything goes well, Campbell almost spun around at the expense of Blanton. But I think if everything goes well, we're going to see this 44 machine go to victory lane coming out of 4. Blaine Atkin's going to win at Bristol Dirt.
Looks like Steinmiller in the 91 are around.
Yeah, there's a lot of trucks going around. Whitendorf finishes in the second place position, and Jared Campbell does pick up a third place, and we've got a lot of smoke coming through the turns, and everyone's sending it down the road. I think Blanton just spun around.
Well, I mean, this is what we were pretty much kind of getting to. Weitendorf made an amazing last lap run. Another guy I want to really put a kind of a light on is Christopher Morse. I saw him come all the way back from about 8th, 9th place, drive his way almost all the way to 4th.
Man, he made a great charge, man. There's a lot of these drivers that are back here. I think Shane Lake got a 9th place out of that.
I say a lot of the guys who really don't get to shine a lot of these weeks. I mean, this is the fun events where you don't really have to worry about, other drivers. You don't have to worry about almost feelings. And you don't even have to worry about the car itself because the truck is very forgiving, very kind of driver friendly. So, I mean, obviously, it's a blast.
And the best part is, truck's a rental. So
truck's a rental.
So, yeah, you don't gotta worry about the condition.
Get the deductible.
Tax season is here. And get all the tax slayer notifications, but taking a Polish victory lap around Bristol Dirt. Now, this is anything to go based off of what we're going to see in the real-life Bristol Dirt races. I am going to be very disappointed if the real-world stuff doesn't live up to tonight, because it was a treat. Hands down. Hands down.
But, man, that car turns right pretty well.
Well, it's hard to...
Well, slides right. Well, maybe not.
Turning right when you're going basically left. And he's killed the engine.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But just looking at our results here, I mean, just an impressive top 10, more or less. I mean, Blade Atkins really was in control most of this race. Obviously, kind of taking advantage of that. He got pretty much a great jump on the final restart, and that was really the decider here.
Indeed it was. Yeah, Atkins does take away this victory, and somehow, some way, Weitendorf does hold on for a 2nd place. Jared Campbell somehow gets a 3rd place. A lot of these drivers back here are just kind of riding around, trying to figure out what to do with these cars. Michael Blanton, I honestly thought that we were going to see him with a faster car at the end of the race, but Christopher Morse happened to say no to that. And unfortunately, Jay Counshell wasn't able to make up a $25 bonus and yeet the field, but he does finish a 6th place finish. Shane Lake also not doing the yeeting and finishes 9th. Johnson, Harrelson.
Cooper Johnson is a very interesting name. I said I didn't see him. We didn't even really talk about him way too much, besides maybe getting in the wall. Nice to see him kind of pull out a good about 7th place finish, 7th, 8th.
And Steinmiller ends up getting a 10th place.
That's impressive. Just claws his way back.
How about that?
Well, let's see. We got some interviews to get to. I believe we'll pull Jared Campbell here first.
Let's get him in here.
If I can, there we go. Hey, Gerald, it's Matthew and Anthony here in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry it was a boring race for you guys.
What do you mean boring?
That was crazy. That was a lot of fun.
Well, I was waiting for you to send it in that last restart.
I sent it the wrong way. I owed Blaine a couple, from the restarts that he got into the back of me, and
I saw you on that final restart. I saw you about to get to his bumper. I was like, oh my, he's gonna send him.
He was just that much out of reach. Racetrack. I was gonna use him to slow me down, and I went in too hard. And then I was battling for my life for 2nd and 3rd place. But man, I wish I could go back and time it a little bit better, because I owed him a couple of them and I was ready to pay him back in full. So, man, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
That's the most important thing. That's the thing that we brought up earlier, is that you guys just having fun out there and really getting to hang it all out. I know that the racing normally, like the 87 series and the Grand National series before the season ended, it was more or less of a serious race, but getting to just show off what you can do. Like, how did it feel tonight? It seemed like the vibe was really up there.
I'm not the best at dirt, so for me to figure it out, thank goodness for that warm-up, that 5-minute warm-up, because in the heat race, I was like 5 seconds behind the 24 at the finish after that 15 laps, and then in that 5-minute warm-up, I figured it out. And boy, it was a big game changer knowing how to actually get around here, and that bottom was just so important on how you hooked it. So yeah, man, I feel like I made so many mistakes just because it's just a new track, new feeling. So I really want to do another one of these. I wish it was 200 laps, to be honest with you, because lap after lap I was getting better and better. And then at the end, whenever you just don't care if you're coming home with a truck or not, you're just banging the doors off it, trying to make the other guy lose his momentum. So it just came down at the end, and we were racing like they were street stocks, man. They were just like, every time you could get into the door of somebody to make him have to fight the car and get him off his line. It was, man, it was almost the embodiment of short track racing. It was just kind of push as hard as you could and make the other guy just pissed off enough to make mistakes.
So now I gotta bring us back into the land of the kind of the vintage '87 cars. So obviously we're gonna visit some dirt tracks later this season with the '87 car. I mean, can you take away anything from this, or is it more or less just, hey, fun event?
Yeah, it's just bragging rights. I'm looking forward to the '87 cars once hopefully everything gets fixed onto them, and I feel good going into Darlington because last season I made the stupidest mistake ever in iRacing. I pitted not knowing that there was no green white checkers with 3 laps to go after having a 7-second lead and coming down pit road and handing the win to Chris. So I want the win back. I want to go
it happens. Back. Some people self-spin, other people pit. I'm not saying Mark Martin, but I mean, it happens.
Just doing your best Mark Martin cosplay, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at Bristol where it all happened, so I mean, I'm surprised it didn't happen here. But no, I'm looking forward to going back to the '87 cars. That's where my bread and butter is, I guess you would say. It's just it's a very fun series to run with those cars. I got a good feel for them, rather than tonight was going into it completely not knowing what to do. So I gotta say, NASCAR did a good job. This is a fun track. I didn't expect it to be this much fun for the trucks. I mean, I don't think there's a better dirt track for the trucks to be able to race on than this. It's just wide enough to beat and bang and still be able to keep on going. So, you know, I hope we come back again. I hope we can put on more of a show.
It's basically a skate park with some dirt on it, and you throw some cars on it, and you've got an event. So I am excited to see when what the future for this track is. But Gerald, I think before we let you go, we got some sponsors and shout outs to do, and anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Also, that's sponsor on your hood tonight. I got some questions about that one.
What about that?
Yeah, what was that?
So obviously I do real life racing and not like any kind of professional things. It's just we do champ cars, and me and a couple iRacers got together about a champ car, and we did Sebring last season. And of course, after a few beers after a race and we're having fun and everything, you know, you start shooting stupid stuff, and we were thinking of businesses to go into. And, man, I was like, what would be something that's never been done before? And I was like, you know what? You know, there's a lot of people out there that just don't, you know, can't do the sea. You know, they get seasick and everything. How about if you got a blimp and you went out in the middle of the ocean and started fishing? And then you just, when you caught something, you just make the blimp go up and you just catch the fish. So it was more of a joke. Man, if I had some money, I might want to put something into that because, like I said, it's an eye catcher. So we were running trucks. It was for fun. You know, I don't know. Maybe there's an investor out there that goes, man, I might want to do that.
I saw your car for sale the other day, and I was about ready to make an offer.
Oh yeah. Well, we sold that one. We got we got a new race car. We got a Mazda that we're finishing up that we're going to be doing Daytona. 14-hour Daytona race in real life. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. 128 cars signed up for Daytona for the Champ Car division. So we got.
Does it at least have pop-up headlights?
No. This is too new of a. We went a little bit more modern with the car. We got an 07 Mazda. So.
Not the 86.
No. But we did make real life stickers of blimp fishing to go on that car. It's going with us until someone starts to throw some millions our way to make this a real life thing. I might trickle it here and there to pop up to catch people's eyes. Like I said, I mean it's something different. If you know somebody, have them give me a call. I love to do some deep sea blimp fishing.
I guess I'll go ahead and I'll call my friends in the blimp industry and see what I can do.
I mean, I haven't seen a Goodyear blimp in a while. I mean, what are they doing? Get a couple of them and let's go.
You know, a few silicon investors that might be into that.
Yeah, there you go. See what I came to the right guys. All right. So this third place was meaningful to be able to go over my new business industry that we're going into.
Cal Cash App you the first $1 to get it started.
Yeah, well, it's either gonna sink or swim, or float is the motto.
Badum-tis.
Yeah,
All
yep,
right.
there you go.
That was Gerald Campbell, strong third place finish. Hope to talk to you again next week.
All right, see you guys.
Blood fishing.
I'd do it.
Who was our second place finish?
Hold on. John Weitendorf.
Weidendorf isn't in here. Well,
Well,
at least not I
Is
can
our
see.
winner in here? Is Blaine Atkin in here?
I believe Blaine Atkins in here.
Yeah, let's
Go
get Blaine
ahead.
in here.
Let's go ahead and pull Blaine down.
Hey Blaine, it's Anthony and Matt in the booth. How you feeling down in Victory Lane?
Feeling stressed. I don't think I've ever been that stressed in a race before ever.
It didn't seem like it was any stressful at all. Like it was just a bit of a Sunday drive out there for you guys. What was so stressful?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Michael was coming toward the end of the race there, and I knew he was probably going to be a whole lot faster. So I mean, I just had to make the jump right on the start and did it right and pull it out and won the race.
So that restart, where did you ever get a little bit concerned when you saw Campbell just coming towards your back bumper?
Oh, dude, I got really concerned because I got into him a bunch of times in the race, and I knew I probably had one coming to me.
You did a good job wheeling around the default mobile, and I gotta say, please make that your main scheme in all your series. I love it so much.
Please no.
Yeah,
What's
I'd
the
love
sponsors?
to. I just got to go talk to. I got to go talk to Chris about it.
Well, I gotta ask, what is your overall opinion of Bristol Dirt? We've gotten some pretty good reviews of it so far. What's your opinion? Do you think it drives amazingly, or do you think it could use some work?
Oh, dude, it was amazing out there. The only time I really had struggles was when the tires started wearing and the track started getting rubbered down, and it was just super loose up on the bottom. But the bottom was where you had to be fast. So I guess you just had to deal with it.
So, Blaine, since I mean, at least to my knowledge, there isn't any prize for this event, and it was more or less just kind of a fun event. Say, hey, me and our 87 cars are kind of broken this week, so we got to do something in the meantime. Since there is no prize for this event, one FRN shirt, I was offering them out to everyone in the field. So,
But what was that?
you want an FRN shirt?
Oh heck yeah!
All right.
Shoot, I'll be rocking that at the racetrack.
Just shoot me a DM, and with the address and everything, I'll get it sent out to you. And the size. I'm not going to send you a child size.
Yeah, shoot, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to get Dad in here. He'll probably hear me get the interview real quick, and I think he'll probably run in here.
100% cotton. Got to market the shirts.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm around like a large or something.
No, I run extra large. I like extra fluff.
Bro.
But but other than that, anyone you want to give shout outs to, sponsors?
Oh yeah, I want to thank all my real life sponsors. I want to thank SP Carburetor, Bowling Green, Trust and Supply, Curb Appeal, Kentucky Clutch, Stamper Chassis, Paint Perfection, DHP Racing, Russell's Printing, and Jim Johnson's Automotive for everything they've done for me in real life.
Well, congratulations to your win tonight, and hopefully we get to do more of these events because this was a blast to watch, and I'm sure it was a blast to drive. So we'll see you next time. Well,
Yes, sir. Thank you guys.
All right. That was a bit delayed, but well, Matt, I don't see our second place finisher in the booth, so
Yes, he's gonna have to take a rain check tonight, but hopefully he can get back up there next week and go get himself an interview.
yeah. So Matt, what do you think? Bristol Dirt hitting a win, or is it a bit of a learning curve for these drivers?
I'll be totally honest. I came into this race thinking it was going to be a wreck fest and think we were going to have a caution every 3 laps, and I thought everyone would kind of be slight. Or it looks like we're going to have an interview with Michael Blanton here.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see if we can go ahead and get Michael Blanton in here. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Morse said you want to do an interview, so I mean, might as well.
Well, I mean, it seems like the past couple or the first couple of weeks I've ran in this league, I haven't had good enough luck. I ran like trash at Richmond, and I had a good car at Atlanta until I got wrecked there. And then this track, oh my God, I love dirt so much.
It certainly seemed like you were having a good time out there, and everyone seemed like they were having a good time sideways more often than not. So there's that. What was the overall experience down battling with everybody?
Um, the bat, I the battling with Gerald there at the end was good. I knew once we got that caution and we got that green white checker, I knew I was kind of in trouble because it seemed like for the entire race, on the restarts, I was a little bit worse than what everybody else was. But once we got a couple of laps after the restart, I just started clicking laps and laps and laps and started getting back in my groove. And I was faster than Blaine on those longer runs. I was kind of hoping it would have stayed green there at the end because I think I could have caught Blaine. I was catching them slowly but surely. I think I would have got him with about 1 or 2 to go. But other than that, you know, I didn't know what to expect coming into this race because I struggled during practice, and then I just kind of like hit on something, and I dominated the heat race, qualified on the pole, so I was kind of excited after that.
Certainly did take to this track with some stride, and I gotta say though, driving the 24 machine on around this track, it was kind of fun to watch the Jeff Gordon mobile go around and really get to see what they were all about. What are your plans when we go back to the 87 cars though? Because I know that it's going to be a bit of a challenge when we go back to racing with them, but you still fixated on the truck racing, and or are you getting some logging some practice in for when we go to some of these dirt tracks with the 87 cars?
Well, I have always, I've always been a lot better in like the trucks, the Xfinity cars or the Cup cars, than the 87 cars. But because I never really drove the 87 cars until here recently. But my buddy Chris, who, me and him, we've been racing together since like 2008, 2009, something like that. So we've been together for a while racing. And he kept begging me to come run these 87 cars. And I was like, dude, I'm not about the 87 cars. Well, I finally got into running. I'm like, okay, these are, I think I can figure something out with these. And I struggled at Richmond, did really good at Atlanta. So I just keep getting better with them as it goes on. The dirt track racing is just kind of, it doesn't, I always seem to do really good there, and no matter what car they put me in. Now, I've never tried the 87 car there, so that's definitely going to be an experience. So I guess we'll just have to see there. But I've always loved sliding sideways and having to turn left to go right or turn right to go left or whatever.
I mean, absolutely. Well, here, I'm going to give you a chance. You want to shout out anyone, say thanks?
Yeah. I want to thank Chris for actually bringing me into this league. He tried to bring me into it last year, but with me being in law enforcement and me working the schedule that I work, I couldn't quite commit to it. I've had some time off here recently, so I've actually been able to race and actually been able to enjoy it. And my fiance, who's actually watched all the races on y'all's stream since I started racing, I know she might kind of get frustrated because I'm not spending time with her, but I think she enjoys watching the racing too. So I want to thank her for putting up with me.
Well, that is Michael Blanton driving the number 24 truck tonight. We look forward to seeing you when we go back to racing for the 87 cars. And hope you have the great rest of your night and maybe decompress after quite a bit of a challenging race.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I'm actually about to go run an Xfinity race around Atlanta, so
Ooh, good luck with that.
Let's see how that goes.
Oh, best of luck.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, guys.
Well, that was Michael Blanton, driver of the 24 machine, and Whew. I don't know about you, but this race took a lot out of me.
Yeah, I will admit I think I sweated more in that race than I have in a while, and I know the drivers sweated, and I don't even know why I'm sweating.
It was it's a long race for sure, and I'm glad that we were able to get through it, and these drivers able to really put on a show for all of us. And Matt, I want to thank you for joining us in the booth. I know that it was an interesting race for all of us, and I'm glad that we got to do it because I cannot wait to do more of these. This was a blast.
Absolutely, I know a few drivers are definitely going to be looking on that calendar saying, "Man, I mean, I think we can do another special event here and here, or maybe we can do something here. We may have something in the works."
Can't wait to see what all comes out of some of these leagues, some of these fun races, to get to see what these drivers are really all about and let it all hang out and put on more of an entertaining show without any consequences. And I cannot wait to see what happens there. But for all of us here at FRN, we still have a lot of racing to go this week. Tomorrow night, we have the Dark Horse IndyCar Series and the Sark Super Speedway Series will be taken on to the tracks for their respective series. And then Thursday night, I believe we have the I know that we have the Pro Trucks that will be taking on the Corsair Pro Trucks will be racing there, and I think we have a couple of other races that will be happening on Thursday as well. And then Sunday night we will be having the Clutch Drop Cup Series that will be taking place on their normal 9 o'clock slot. And then we start this all over again next Tuesday with the Vintage 87 cars taking on Darlington. So it's going to be a lot of racing still to come for this next week. But again, Matt, thanks for joining me, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, hopefully we get Seth back in the booth next week, and it's a little bit more professional, a little bit more coordinated.
This was fun. I had a great time. And I love doing commentary with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's all fun.
Anyway, I am Anthony McCurry. He is Matthew Rodriguez. This is the Flatout Racing Network. We will see you next time when we go racing, and hope that everyone has a good rest of your night. Until then, see you next time.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.